Hi guys, it's Shannon with Twisted Mind by Seafer. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these cute little sea turtle tribal sea turtle earrings made out of polymer clay and hot fix rhinestones. Aren't they adorable? I will be right back with all of the supplies and the instructions to make these. Okay guys, what you're going to need today is a tribal sea turtle cutter from the Heart Supplies. You are going to need your silkscreen. Now, and this is also from the Heart Supplies. Now, when you get this silkscreen, it actually comes as one big piece of these 3 designs. But I cut them up because it's easier for me to use when I'm just wanting to do one design at a time. And so today we'll be doing this design. Let me see what else you're going to want. I'm using Deco Art Extreme Sheen Antique Bronze Metallic Paint. You can use whatever paint you want. That's what I'm going to be using today. You're going to need 2 head pins, or well, I should say 2 eye head pins, 2 eyelet screws, and some hot fix rhinestones. I'll get you the measurements to those rhinestones. Again, in any color too that you want. It doesn't have to be the colors I'm doing. You're going to want 2 glass beads. I don't know where I got these beads at, unfortunately. I've had them for years. They're little glass beads. I have them in all different colors. So I really can't, I don't have a link for you. I'm sorry. But you can use whatever beads you want. It doesn't have to be the exact same kind. You're going to want 2 of a large, let me zoom this out a little bit here. You're going to want 2 of a large, well, medium size hot fix rhinestone, and then some smaller ones. These are AB crystal ones, and I'll have a link for these down below. Again, use whatever color you want. A tissue blade, pliers. This is a paintbrush that you'll be using to apply Varathane later. This is a loop maker, an eye pin maker, and I will show you how to use that. Let's see. You're going to need a nail file, some sort of a dotting tool. This also has a dotting tool on the end, but we'll be using this little rubber edger thing here. I don't even know the name of that. This isn't the clay I used for the original pair that I showed you, but I wanted to go with a brighter clay this time. So we're going to be using Sculpey Primo Green. This is, I think, a 4x4 tile, and this is just a piece of regular printer paper. Any old debit card or gift card that you're not using. And this filled with warm soapy water. Oops. And 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. All right, I'll be back to explain exactly how to use these. So we're back. I have our Primo clay rolled out on the pasta machine to a 1, which will be the second thickest, the thickest being 0 on my machine. And now what we're going to do is you're going to take your silkscreen, and if you look at it, flip it, there's a dull side and a shiny side. And you're going to put, if I remember right, I'm pretty sure it's the shiny side down. Okay. And then you're going to lightly burnish your finger across it, which just means pretty much that you're very lightly pushing it onto the clay. You do not want the clay to come up through the silkscreen or it'll get ruined. So you just want to lightly burnish it. Now, I changed my mind. I lied. I said I was going to use an antique bronze paint, but then I got to thinking about it, and I decided instead I'm going to use Deco Art Extreme Sheen 24 karat gold. I think it'll look better on here. So I'm going to shake it up I'm probably shaking my whole table here. Shake it up so all the yummy mica gets mixed up in it. Okay, let me see here. So you're going to take your scraper, whatever little card you have, and you're going to, I just put some along the edge like this, okay? Let me move this little guy out of the way here. Oh, I'm still in the camera. Okay, so you're going to take it and you're going to lightly, but kind of firmly, squeegee it on there. Okay. Yes, I know I'm making a mess. It is what it is, though. Okay. You want to make sure that it's all covered. Again, you don't want to, you want to make sure you're covering it and that you have good coverage, but you don't want to push too hard. Okay. So we'll put that over there. That looks like it's pretty good. Now I'm going to take this, even though this isn't what we have the nail file for, but this is what I'm going to use it for, maybe. Actually, let me get this, the little poker tool. All right, here we go. And you're going to slowly lift it up, and there we have it. Okay, now I am going to quickly, very quickly, do the same on this piece, and we'll be right back. Finish both sides, even though this side looks like it's just the lighting. It looks like it's not as vibrant, but it is. But I just wanted to show you that this is when you put your silk screen immediately after putting it on clay. You put it in some warm, soapy water. If you do not, the paint will dry on your silk screen and it will be ruined. That's all she wrote. So I just wanted to come back before these dried to show you that you just want to let that little sucker, I let it sit in there for a little bit. You know, I'll do it around like this, and then I'll just let it sit for a little bit. And then rinse it after taking it out. Hold it up to the light to make sure that nothing got clogged on there, because you don't want to ruin these, and they're delicate. All right, after these have dried, we will come back and cut them. I think it's dry enough. I'm trying to adjust this here. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so we're going to take the cutter and we're going to place it and try and line it up. Oops. Try and line it. I'm going to have to, hold on just 1 second. I've got to move this towards me so I can see a little bit without my big head getting in the way of the thing here. My hand's sliding all over the place. Okay, let me see. Is that good? I think that's good. Maybe a little bit more that way. Yeah. I think that's good. So we're going to take a clear acrylic block and we're going to push it down. Pretty hard there. And then give it a little bit of a wiggle. See how this is going to go. We're going to lift up slowly. You don't want anything to break on you. It looks like it's sticking a little bit, which is my fault. I probably should have put some water or a release agent around it. You generally don't have to do that, but just be super gentle pulling it out here. All right. Come on, little bugger. Okay. Come on. There we go. So then we're going to pull this up. Now, these scraps, you know, they've got paint all over them, obviously, but set them out to dry, and you can save those scraps once they're dry, and you can make Natasha beads or, you know, well, mix it with, you know, with other clays and make Natasha beads or whatever you'd like. So that way you don't feel like you're wasting a bunch of clay. Okay, I'm going to cut out this other piece and then we'll be right back. So I forgot to mention that I had let those dry for about between 15 minutes and a half an hour before I cut them out. So yeah, you don't want to do it too early. Now you're going to take your tissue blade and you're going to lift those off the tile. Oh, don't you just hate it when it sticks like that? Let me look at the back. Oh, the back's not too bad. Okay, so you're going to do that. You're going to do that with both of them. Just lift them up. Boop, there we go. And we're going to stick them right there for right now. And let's clean this up a little bit here. Okay, so one thing that I didn't have this listed, but one thing, I always have these around because I think rubbing alcohol cleans up better than just diaper wipes, though I do use diaper wipes all the time. But it just seems to me that rubbing alcohol, it cleans up better, and it dries faster, it evaporates. So I try to have little packets like that around. And if you want, I could probably leave a link to those too. But here we're going to finish off with a diaper wipe there and get the paint I missed off my hands. And so let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to take the tile and the little computer paper. We're going to pick this little guy up for right now. We're going to stick him on there, and same with this guy. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, now I'm going to finish cleaning up just a bit, and I will be right back. So next we need to do is clean up a little. Now you can do this now, or you can do it afterwards. I tend to just do a little bit of both. So like, come here, little guy, put you over there. That's what I use this for, is I just kind of go along and smooth out what's needed, any little stragglers. You can do this after baking. You can either do it with the nail file that I had shown you earlier, or you can do it with your fingernail. I tend to use a nail file for stuff like that because you can't get your finger into all these places. So I'm just going to clean up a little bit on these. Here we go. Let's see. It's not too bad. Okay, so in anything after, I can just clean up with the nail file. All right, let me do this little guy real quick. All right. So again, just, using the soft little, I don't know what you call these. I'm sure they have a name. I just call them little silicone shapers because that's what I use them for, is to shape. So, but if they have a technical name that I'm missing, feel free to leave that in the comments. And, but for right now, we'll just call it a shaper, a little silicone shaper. Okay, I think that's all for right now. Maybe, let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, so we're going to leave that right now, and then we're going to come back and we're going to attach the eyelet, the screw eyelet, and we're going to start fixing the hot fix rhinestones. Okay, we're back, and now I'm going to take this little eyelet screw. Oh, I forgot to mention these. See, I always forget something, don't I? Never fails. Little needle nose tweezers for the hot fix rhinestones. Now, when you get, especially if you get like a kit for hot fix rhinestones, it'll come with like a little wax pencil, and you can use that to pick up the rhinestones. I don't like to do that because it leaves, I feel it leaves too much of a waxy residue. Ooh, camera shake. That annoys me. So I try to do it with tweezers. Okay, so we have our eyelet screw, and you're going to very carefully, so you're not distorting anything, you're going to place that right into the top very easily, very carefully, of your turtle, just like that. If you do it right, you'll have very, very little distortion. Make sure you go in nice and even. If you don't, then it'll poke out the back and then you have to fix it. And that's kind of a pain in the tuchus. So there we go. All right, so both screws are in. Yeah, both screws are in. Now we're going to come down here like this. Come on now. Come on over. There you go. Okay, the reason why I am baking on this piece of printer paper and not directly onto the ceramic is because if you do it directly onto the ceramic, it'll make shiny spots on the back. It'd be one thing if it made like the whole back shiny, but it doesn't. It just leaves these really weird, just some shiny, some matte finish. So if you put it on printer paper, you don't have that problem. Okay, so let me zoom in here a little bit. Okay, so just like I did with this one, I'm going to follow the same pattern with the same color of hot fix rhinestones. Now you can, whatever, depending on whatever screenshot, it's been a long day, folks. Depending on whatever silk screen you chose out of the pattern, that's, you know, you'll place yours differently. But for this tutorial, we're going to do it just like I did on the original. Pat this down a little bit more. And what you're going to do is you're going to take, by the way, these are, if I didn't mention them before, these are AB Hot Fix Rhinestone, which stands for Aurora Borealis. They are, those and the volcano color are my absolute favorite. But I didn't think volcano color would look good here, so I'm using these. Okay, so we're going to pick up one of these bad boys, yeah? And we're going to place it right here on the dot. Okay, gently. Now, you're then going to take your dot tool and you're going to, let me lift it up here a little bit closer. You're going to very carefully push it down a little bit, just a little. It doesn't need to sink far into the clay. It doesn't need to make a big indent. And the reason why is because hot fix rhinestones, let me show you one of the green bigger ones. It'll be easier to see. Oops, as I drop it everywhere. Hot fix rhinestones, oh my goodness, are called that because see this little gray on the back? That's like a glue. And, well, it's not like a glue. It is a glue. And when it's heated up, it's a very strong glue and it adheres to whatever it is you're sticking it to. And for polymer clay, I've had no problems putting these in the oven. You know, I don't have any melting issues or anything like that. But for polymer clay, it's wonderful because you just, you not only do you have the glue, but if, like I said, if you push it in just a little bit, it's enough to really, really set them. And I have yet, knock on wood, to have anybody have an issue with them falling out, okay? What I usually do is I do a whole section, and then I come along with my ball tool and push those little suckers in a little bit. Oops. And see, that's another thing too. You want to be real careful because they're slick. You don't want to slide off and dent your art. Not that that's ever happened to me before. I can't even tell you how many times that's happened to me before. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish doing the outside dots on both of these with the AB crystals, and then I'll be back. Folks, we have placed the tiny AB hot fix rhinestones. Now we're going to place the bigger ones right in the middle. Again, like I said before, you know, you can use any color of hot fix rhinestone you want. It doesn't have to be these. And you can place them wherever you want. One thing I do want to stress though, these aren't flat back rhinestones. I've never tried flat back rhinestones in an oven, so I can't say, you know, whether or not that's a good thing to do. But so it has to be hot fix rhinestones. Make sure that that's what you're getting. Let me see here. Oh well. A little crooked. That's all right. I'm probably going to be the only one who notices. Okay, so we're done with the ABs. Now let's see. Now we're going to do the green ones all around in this area right here. And those are a little bit bigger. So let's see. Let's do a measurement here. See if I can't find my ruler real quick so I can give you a little bit of a estimation. If I remember right, these tiny little AB ones are like 1 millimeter. So let me see. Yeah, those are 1 millimeter. Just the tiny ones that we just placed. The one in the middle is, I think, 5 millimeters, maybe 4 or 5. Again, it doesn't matter. You can place it a little bit bigger. It's not going to, you know, if you use a bigger hot fix, it's not going to matter. It's a pretty versatile thing that that we're doing here. I'm just giving you the basics. You can customize it however you like. And then this one looks like between 2 and 3 millimeter. Okay, so let's pour these guys over here because it's easier to, I don't know where I got this tray. I think I got it in the Hot Fix Rhinestone kit when I bought one of the colors, but honestly, I can't remember. I'm sorry. I know my camera keeps shaking. I suffer from what's called psychomotor agitation, so my leg's always moving, and I keep reading that my leg is up against the table, which in turn is bumping the camera. Okay, so we're going to take these little green guys and put them all around. Oops. Look at me. Butterfingers, or as the case may be, butter tweezers. Okay, there we go. Oh, come on now. Let me zoom out just a little bit there. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, look at that. You know, it's weird working in here. I'm so used to playing music when I create. And it's where I live, we have one station that's all 80s. And I'm probably showing my age here, but that's all right. There we go. And I'm always playing that at a pretty good volume, but I can't do that during a tutorial because YouTube will copyright me in half a second flat. So it's just weird to me. It seems so quiet in here with just my own voice. Okay, so we have all those placed, yeah? And we're going to, again, just go around and push them in just a little bit. We don't want to distort anything, but we want them to have just that extra bit of oomph that the clay will give baking around it. Just adds to the clay, or I mean the glue that's already on it. Okay, so there you go. Look at, I see, Hot Fix Rhinestone's beautiful. I love anything with bling. Okay, so we're going to put the green ones on over here, and we'll be back. So we have finished putting the Hot Fix Rhinestones, green and the AB on each one. So it is ready for the oven. We are going to put this in. By the way, if you hear that ticking, that's my oven heating up in the background. We are going to put this in for 40, 45 minutes at 275. And we will be back once it is baked and cooled so we can add the finishing touches. Okay, so I thought, well, while these are heating up and baking and all that fun stuff, we can go ahead and start preparing the little findings and stuff like that. So instead of using this color bead, I decided to use this color bead, because I think it'll just be a little pop of color. So let me come out here a little bit. All right, so you're going to take your eyelet head pin. Now bear with me, folks, because I'm not as proficient at this as I should be. Now these are just some little like clearish seed beads. I have no idea again where I got them. A lot of people, I go to like garage sales a lot and get crafting supplies, and sometimes people will be detaching stuff and they're just like, oh, here, you know, you want this? So a lot of my beads, I'm not quite sure where they came from. So I'm sorry about that, but you can use whatever you like. So we're going to put that little bead there, and then we're going to add one of those red glass beads there. And then we're going to pick up another glass bead like that. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so now you're going to take one of my absolute favorite tools ever, and I'll have a link to it. This is an eyelet or loop maker, as you want to call it. Now, I'm still learning this, so bear with me if I screw this up. So you're going to want to make sure that everything is pushed down flush up against the loop. Okay, so you're going to hold that in whatever way makes it easier for you to do this. And you're going to, now these come with instructions, at least mine did. So, you know, if you get lost right here in this, don't worry about it. They do come with instructions. Okay, so you're going to put it in there like this. And if you see, it's coming out that little hole there, right? So you're going to come in like, oops, you're going to come in like this. Hold on a minute and get a better grip. Okay. And can you see where I'm at here? And you're going to push just like that. It cuts that part off. And then you're going to open this up and wiggle this off. So now you have, oh, look at all the clay still on my hands. Yeah, I never said I was real clean when I worked. All right, so this is what you're going to end up with. And we are going to attach that to the turtles once they are done and have been glazed and all that fun stuff. All right, let's get back to waiting for them to finish baking, and I'll be back when we'll finish it. Okay, we're back. They are all baked and cooled off. Now I'm going to show you how to get rid of any little burrs you might have. Just take a nail file, which you can get super cheap. I get them at the dollar store. And just lightly go through. Get off any burrs that you may see hanging out. It doesn't take a whole lot of pressure. And just continue to go through. Do that on anything you find till they're nice and smooth. I think that one's all right, maybe. Oh, there's one. Anyway, so yeah, just continue to do that till they're all nice and smooth. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one and do the other one, and then I'll be back to show you how to glaze it. Okay, so all done. Got all the burrs off. Everything's looking good. So this is what we're going to use to varnish our creation today. This is from the Heart Supplies. It's Veritane Finish. It's a high gloss. Well, glossy. It says gloss. I think it's a high gloss. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put this on. I do 2 or 3 coats, just depending, and I let dry. I let dry like a half an hour to an hour between coats, you know, just to make sure. And you want to put it on thinly. If it goops up, like if you see a big globs of white, you know, then you've put on too much. Now, I'm showing you this, in the bottle. This is how you'll get it when you order it from the Heart Supplies. But what I do is I pour them into these little bottles that I get on Amazon. And the brushes are very, very, very soft. And so you want a soft brush, or else you will have brush lines. So the softer the brush, the better. It's just easier for me to do it this way, and then I label it the way it needs to be labeled. So, that being said, now I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. When you're glazing something that has hot fix rhinestones on it, I have found that if you get the glaze on the rhinestone, no matter what it is, whether it's UV resin, anything, it really dulls it. You don't get the sparkle. And I really like the sparkle. So I do something that's, it's a little painstaking. I'm not going to lie. It's a little tedious, but it's worth it in the end. Okay. I take one of these. This is a set of, these are nail art brushes. And this is a set that I got on Amazon, and if I can find the link, I will link it. They come with a whole bunch, and they're different sizes. I use the pink size with the real small brush for this work right here. And I'm going to go ahead and get everything set up, and then I'll come back and show you how to do this. All right, so I've got everything set up here. And now I'm going to show you how to do this. Like I said, it's kind of tedious. It's not bad, though. So you're going to take... Oops, I got too much on there. You're going to take the brush, your small tip brush, and you're going to go in between these and kind of circle around them a little bit. Okay? Now, you don't... Once you've circled around these little rhinestones or whatever... Now, you can go ahead and do the rest of it after you've outlined these little guys with the regular brush from the bottle or whatever you're using to actually brush on your glaze. But after I've done my little outlines, then I use the regular. Oh, it's almost too much. See how it starts to glob on a little white? There we go. I use the regular brush after that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through and I'm going to outline these. It looks like it's going to take more, time than, or like a lot of time, but it really doesn't. Once you get used to doing it, it goes fairly quick. You just have to outline it and give yourself enough space to where that brush can come in and not hit it. And you won't have like a regular, if you do it right, you won't have like a regular brush lines or anything like that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish glazing both of these. And then after they're dried, I'll come back and we'll attach all the findings. Okay, we are back. These are dried from their glazing. Don't they look nice and beautiful? Okay, so I want to show you this. This is just 70% rubbing alcohol that I put it in a bottle and a Q-tip. I'm going to do this off camera, but I'm going to spray the tip of this Q-tip with the alcohol. And then you're going to take it and you're going to very lightly, and try not to touch your actual turtle. You're going to kind of rub the stones, the hot fix rhinestones a little bit. And that will get any residue off of the glazing and, clay. Now, you can do this at any time, really. You can do it, you can even do it before glazing, what have you, just to get rid of any clay remnants, anything that's going to make your stones look cloudy. So, yeah, just a quick, boop, that's all it takes. Try not to touch, I just touched it, but try not to touch the actual turtle. There you go. And you see how much, there's so much more sparkle when you don't have the glaze on them. And because of the fact that you set them in raw clay and they have that glue already, you don't need the glaze to help, hold them in or hold them on. They're on there pretty good. Okay, so Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the little beads that I showed you, what we made. Excuse me. And now we're going to open up the side here, right? Wait, where am I at? Here we go. We're going to open up the side here so I can slip this little guy on and then close it up. I should have gotten my different pliers, my more needle nosy, as my grandkids call them, pliers. You're going to take your little earring hook and put that on. And there you have it. Now, these are obviously going to be big earrings. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I like big gaudy type earrings and stuff, and big bulky earrings. So just so you know, these are going to be fairly big. And so you want to be aware of that before you make them. I suppose I should have mentioned it in the beginning, but for real, it just, they are a little bit bigger than some people like, but I like them big. So this is what I've done. Okay, so one thing I want to show you is, see how this kind of twists up here? Now, if you remember, right, these were screws that we put in here. Don't worry about that. It's not coming off, okay? But if you're concerned, you can take a little toothpick and you can put a little dab of E6000 glue or super glue, even just a tiny little bit right in there, and let it dry, and it'll be good to go. So it's not something you really have to worry about. It'll all work out fine. All right, I'm gonna finish this up, and and we're done. Here they are. These are very, very light. Even though they're big, they're very, very, very super light, even with the little glass bead. So if you want to wear big earrings, but you're a little worried about the heft and the weight pulling you down, these are extremely super light. Polymer clay is very light on things like this when you're making thin items. So there you have it. Here they all are. Here's the other ones that we made previously. I think this is the longest tutorial I've done. It seems to me that it is. But anyway, so yes, I know I've been gone for a while. I had some health problems, but those should be farther behind in the rearview mirror than they are in the close-up mirror, if you know what I mean now. So I will be doing more tutorials, more polymer clay, more sublimation tutorials in the very near future. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead, just pop them down. Everything I've done here is going to be in the description, or excuse me, most everything I've used here is going to be in the description. And I hope you found this tutorial to your liking, and have a great day.